Next game, Falcons at the Saints. This line opened up Saints -5.5 down to 5. This line will be close to double digits if Drew Brees were playing, but Brees is out, and now it's going to be Jameis Winston getting the start. So who do you like this game?
I like the Falcons pretty good bit in this one. I just think this is a good time to fade the Saints. And I know Jameis Winston is coming into the game, and Jameis Winston at any point can just decide, all right, I'm going to throw 5 interceptions in this game, and we're going to be fine. But I'm thinking that with Sean Payton's coaching, maybe we'll have cleaned that up a little bit, or maybe they'll play it safe and kind of do a little bit of what Teddy Bridgewater did when he came in to lead the Saints last year, and just focus on making safe throws, get it into the hands of the playmakers, and they'll move it down the field. So I think the game plan will be a strong one for Winston. They're not just going to let him uncork it the whole way down the field. But I still think that he could make a lot of mistakes. And I think the Falcons defense in particular is playing a lot better than people realize right now. Since Raheem Morris, I keep calling him Raheem Mostert, it's a real problem. Since he's taken over as the Falcons head coach, they're, I think, 3-1, and they've just been much better on defense. They've got some personnel back at the cornerback position. Foyesade Oluokun has played very well at linebacker. So I think that the Falcons are going to keep this one close. All they have to do is make sure they contain Alvin Kamara enough and don't let him go crazy, and then force Jameis into a couple of interceptions, which, might be hard if they come out with a game plan, but it's possible that he might not, he might try to throw downfield or might throw into some mistakes. If you get pressure on him, he'll unleash the ball, even if he's falling to the ground. We saw him do that a lot in Tampa, and it was always extremely frustrating. But I just think that the Falcons are going to be better off. I think that their offense will be able to move the ball, especially if Calvin Ridley can play. We don't know about that yet, but he was running with the trainer. And the Falcons are pretty well rested. The Saints might have like a little bit of an emotional letdown after they lost Brees, kind of beat the 49ers still, but now they're getting this division rivalry. But are they going to be amped up for it? And the Falcons definitely will be, and they always play well against the Saints. So I'm going to be on the Falcons here.
Yeah, these games are always close, or unless one team is like really banged up. And I think you pointing out that the Falcons are 3-1 with Raheem Morris, like they'd be 4-0 if it wasn't for that goal line mishap by Todd Gurley. But I think it's just more than Morris. The Falcons have gotten a lot healthier recently. Like Julio Jones missed 3 games. I'm counting the Packer game where he played like a quarter and a half. So he missed 3 games where they went 0-3. So if you take those 3 games out, they'd be 3-3 right now, with one of the losses being that Detroit game, another loss being that the Dallas game where they blew a huge lead. And so the only other loss was against Seattle in week 1. Seattle was back then was one of the best teams in the NFL. So, this Falcon team, I think, is a lot better than most people think they are. Also, defensively, they were missing one of their 2 corners for a while, and now they're all healthy as well. So I think this is like one of my the Dolphins aren't underrated anymore because people know how good they are. I think the Falcons are my new favorite underrated team because they've been playing a lot better. They're still a little weak against the pass, and their pass rush isn't great, but they're really good against the run, and they could put up points because Julio's healthy, and then Calvin Ridley might be back, and Matt Ryan's still playing extremely well. The offensive line for Atlanta is outstanding. So I don't see any reason why they shouldn't keep this game close against the Saints. And then you have Jameis Winston, who, like, does Jameis Winston deserve to be favored by 5 points against a competent team? Like, I really don't think so. So I look back to see how he does as a favorite of more than 4 points in his career. He's 2-3 against the spread, so it's like not a lot. It's like a small sample size. But the 2 wins against the spread he's had, one was against Mike Glennon, and the other was against David Blau. So I like my chances with Matt Ryan getting 5 points here.
Yeah, I think you're dead right. I also I do think the Saints are a little bit overrated right now. We've seen them play excellent games against the Buccaneers, but we've also seen them, now I don't want to say play poorly, but they've been kind of flat in some other outings. They've played some close games against lesser teams. So, and I think where the Falcons are a divisional rival, the Saints, maybe kind of looking at the Drew Brees injury and assessing what their team is. I think the Falcons should cover this, and I'm just not willing to trust Jameis Winston yet. I think he'll be better than he was in Tampa Bay because he's had different coaching, but I don't think he's going to lead them to a win over a quality team, or, a big win rather.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more likely than not that we'll see turnovers. I feel like I feel like with a lot of good coaching, it could be good eventually, but it hasn't even been a full season yet. So I think people shouldn't be expecting too much from Winston. So we're 3-3, 3 for 3 in agreements.